Hey, friends, and welcome back to the Kindness Advantage. I am your host, Cindy Rowe, and in 10 minutes or less, we are going to explore practical ways to bring kindness into every corner of your life. Today's episode is all about kindness habit building because kindness isn't just a value, it's a behavior. And behaviors don't change through intention alone, they change through small repeatable habits. We often think that kindness is something you are or you aren't, but truth is, kindness is a practice. You don't wake up one day magically being patient or compassionate or generous, especially in those stressful situations, right? You build those responses over time through small, consistent actions. And here's why that matters. Research from Duke University shows that about 40% of our daily actions are driven by habit, not conscious making or conscious decision making. That means if kindness isn't part of your habits, it likely won't show up when you're tired or stressed or overwhelmed, which honestly is exactly when it matters most. So, I want to share something with you, a little personal. Years ago, when kindness first became intentional in my life, I didn't start with these big grand gestures. I started with one tiny habit, and that was noticing. Every day, I challenged myself to notice one kind thing, something I did, something someone else did, or something that happened around me. At first, it kind of felt forced, to be honest, but um, you know, some days I would have these thoughts like, nothing kind is going on or happening around me today. But the more I practiced noticing, the more my brain shifted. Suddenly, kindness was everywhere. And I guarantee you, if you do this, you will see that too. That one habit didn't just change what I saw, it changed how I showed up. I became calmer, more patient, less reactive, and without realizing it, my behavior changed because my attention changed. Now you've got to know, you've got to realize that where your attention goes is really how you do show up, right? When you hang around negative people, what kind of thoughts are you having? Well, certainly not positive, right? So think about how you can focus more on kindness. See, that is the power of small kindness habits. And there's science to back this up. Studies in positive psychology show that small, repeated acts of kindness increase serotonin and oxytocin. Those are chemicals linked to happiness, trust, and emotional regulation. What's even more powerful is that research from Harvard suggests that habit stacking, when you attach a new habit to something you already do, dramatically increases follow through. Kindness doesn't need to be another thing on your to do list. It just needs to be, it needs a place to live inside the routines you already have. So, excuse me, there's three small kindness habits that shift your behavior. And I want to make it practical. So it's something that you can actually start today. Number one, I'm going to talk about is the pause. Before you respond, especially when you're irritated or stressed or honestly pissed off, pause for one breath. That pause creates space between reaction and response, and kindness often lives in that space. One breath can prevent a sharp tone, and tone really, really matters, a defensive comment, or a regretful text. Number two is the micro acknowledgement habit. A quick thank you. I see you. I appreciate that. doing it daily and consistently, not grand praise, just recognition. And like when it happens, Gallup research shows employees who feel regularly recognized are more engaged and more likely to stay. But this also works in families and in friendships too. Small acknowledgement builds trust over time. And number 3, kindness default habit. Decide in advance how you want to show up. Ask yourself, when things get really stressful, my default will be blank. Now that could be calm, curious, patient, grounded, kind, caring. Defaults reduce decision fatigue. And when kindness becomes your default, it shows up even when you're tired. And here's the truth most people miss. Big acts of kindness are memorable. Small habits are transformational. They change your nervous system, they change your relationships, they change your reputation, they change your culture, both at work and at home. Kindness habits are how values become behaviors. If kindness feels hard sometimes, that doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human. Hell, I have been intentionally practicing kindness for 11 years now, and I still suck at it some days. Are you still with me? Right? Kindness honestly isn't about perfection, it's about practice and intention and creating that habit. So, one pause, one acknowledgement, one intentional choice repeated over time really can make a difference. So, I like challenges. Here is your challenge for this week. Choose one kindness habit that I just explained and practice it daily for the next 7 days. That's right. Until you hear my next podcast episode, I want you to practice that kindness habit. So, if this episode resonated with you, I have 2 small favors. Share it with a friend who could use a little bit more of kindness right now. And subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss what's coming next here this season. Your support helps this message reach more people, and that ripple matters more than you know. Thank you so much for choosing to listen to this episode. And remember that kindness isn't something you believe in, it's something you build. And together, we create waves of change through kindness. Thanks for listening.